All right, I am here. I'm on the other side of the camera today. No pen in hand, no ink out, no paper. Just wanted to discuss a topic. This is a series of videos. Actually, I've been wanting to make for a little while now, and I'm titling the series "How to Improve Your Handwriting," and it's all spawned by the questions that I see asked in the handwriting subreddit at reddit.com. So this is a common question that people ask, usually people that are just getting into handwriting, or they just kind of have an inkling or a realization that, like, hey, I want to improve my handwriting. And they find out about the handwriting subreddit and they go in there and they just say, what do I need to do? Is there any tips? Anything I need to improve? Maybe they'll include a picture of their handwriting and ask if there's anything they can improve about it. So it's a question I see a lot, and it's a question that doesn't get answered thoroughly most of the time. One, because it's just one of those questions that gets answered so much, and two, I think the best answer to the question is a lot more complicated than what can be communicated in a comment on a post. So I'm making this series of videos. I was going to do it in one video, and I realized that's not going to work. We're going to need to do multiple videos here. So this is the first one, and I think the place to start is to discuss the concept of seriousness. And this really applies to any type of skill you could possibly learn or anything you want to do in your life. But the question I would ask somebody first when they say, I want to improve my handwriting, is, how serious, what do you want to do, and how serious are you about doing it? And sincerity might be a better word. I kind of use them interchangeably: seriousness, sincerity. But I'll use them back and forth. But yeah, I would start with that question of what do you want to do with handwriting? Do you just want to improve your handwriting so that teachers, students, coworkers, colleagues, friends can read it? Maybe it's not very legible at this point, and you just want to improve it a little bit. Or maybe you want to have really nice handwriting that will look good in a handwritten letter to a friend or family member. Or maybe you want to take it to a bigger level, and you want to get into calligraphy, and you want to achieve a really artistic level of handwriting. Maybe you want to be the best. Maybe you want to have the best handwriting in the world. I really don't care what you want to do with it. The question is, are you serious about doing it? And seriousness looks very differently depending on what you want to do. So if you want to be the best in the world, you want to have the best handwriting in the whole world, unless you just have this amazing natural talent, and even if that's the case, you're going to need to dedicate almost your entire life to handwriting. And so if you're telling me you want to be the best in the world, and you're not practicing every day for hours, and you're not studying handwriting for hours every day, then I have to question your seriousness. On the other hand, if you just want to improve your legibility and you want to just get it to the point where it's not embarrassing, which is like where I kind of started. I felt embarrassed by my handwriting, and that kind of spurred me to want to improve it. If you just want to do that, being serious about that doesn't mean spending hours a day. It means spending 10 or 15 minutes a day, and it means not caring. It means sitting down, not in front of the TV. Maybe you have some music on or a podcast while you write, while you practice, but it's focusing on the work that you're doing. Going into solitude, eliminating distractions, and just spending that 10 or 15 minutes every day, and critically looking at your work. And maybe not being afraid to show it to a colleague. If you want your colleagues to be able to read your handwriting, if you're serious about that, then you would have no problem taking your work and showing it to them and saying, hey, what can't you read about this? What looks weird to you? What needs to be improved? Asking a question on the internet, how do I improve my handwriting? That's not where someone who really is serious about improving their handwriting starts. And I'm sorry if you've asked that question before, because it's not the worst idea in the world. But I would say, what else are you doing already? And that's kind of my response to a lot of people when I do respond, is it's like, what else are you doing? Are you just asking a question and hoping someone's going to tell you exactly what to do? If that's the case, you're not serious. I would suggest reevaluating your seriousness and what you really want to do. But if you're already writing and analyzing your work, bring that to the subreddit. Bring that with your question. Say, hey, I've been working on my handwriting. I've improved here and here. I'm not sure what else I need to do, or what's the next best step. Then someone like myself or another person in the subreddit will be happy to help you. So I think it's all about getting serious, and I wanted to convey that message first at the start of this series. I think the next logical question people would ask is, well, how do I get serious about handwriting? And I don't really know the answer to that. I think that's kind of one of the mysteries of learning a skill or anything in life, is that, what brings you to the place where you are ready to be serious about what you want to do. And I think it's something that you don't decide it, you don't make it happen, it just kind of happens to you. So for me personally, I got serious about improving my handwriting when I first started, because I was tasked to write a bunch of thank you letters for a volunteer position. And I was writing the thank you letters in my, chicken scratch print, and I was just embarrassed, thinking about people opening up these letters, with this nice letterhead and nice envelope, and then seeing my handwriting and my signature, and just thinking, who did they have do it? Did they have a student do this? Did they have a grown-up do this? And it was kind of that feeling of embarrassment that said, hey, I'm gonna spend some time, quality time every day, improving my handwriting until I'm comfortable with it. And of course, I fell into a rabbit hole and fell in love with handwriting, and now I spend about an hour every day doing it. So what I wanted has changed, and what I've become serious about has changed. Now I'm serious about becoming very proficient in penmanship, and I think my level of seriousness reflects that goal. So I think the place to start, if there's anywhere to start, if there's anything to do after watching this video, is to honestly ask yourself, what do I want to do, and am I actually serious about that? And you'll know if you're serious about practicing every day. And if you're not, if you don't know, then try it. And if you miss a few days in a row, then it's a good sign you're not serious. But ask yourself if you're serious, and answer the question honestly, and go from there. And you'll see what happens. I would say there isn't so much a list of things you need to do to become serious. I think it's more about exploring what you're really serious about. And you might find that you're not that serious about handwriting, and you don't really care that much about what it looks like. And maybe there's something else that you are serious about, and go do that. I love when people find what they really do love and what they care about. And I think it's just a matter of being honest with yourself, and maybe trying some things here and there, but kind of just listening to that, whatever it is inside of you that says, this isn't really what I want to do. There's something else, and maybe I'm just getting into this handwriting thing to kind of distract me from that other thing. All right, I didn't want to dissuade people from practicing handwriting. I love handwriting. I love when people get into handwriting, so I hope you don't give up. I hope I didn't cause you to give up. I just hope you think a little more about what you really want to do and how serious you are about it. So yeah, this is part one. I'm going to have many more parts to this series of how to improve your handwriting. If you want to make sure you get all of those subsequent parts in your feed, definitely hit the subscribe button down below, and like the video if you like the content, and definitely leave a comment if you have any questions, if you agree, disagree. I would love to hear your thoughts and discuss them with you. Thanks, guys. Bye.